50 decks on my 50th birthday, part 3, the Oracle decks. And I'm including Lenormand here as well because I only have 2 of them, and one of them I use as an Oracle deck. I'll explain it as I come to it. So just to backtrack, as I was making a list of my decks just before my 50th birthday, I realized that I had exactly 50 decks. So I decided to do this this series of like all of the decks that I bought up to my 50th birthday. I haven't used all of them, even though the Oracle decks that I'm going to show today, I have used all of them. But I'm kind of dividing it into different parts. If you haven't checked part 1 and 2, tarot decks that I've actually used, I'll put the links down below so you can go and check them out. So I don't have a lot of Oracle decks. I think there's 8 in this video because I don't engage with them as well as with tarot, and I've been trying, so they've been growing on me, but I had a little bit of a blockage in using them, and now I've started using them. I was only using them for like a card for the month or for the week or for the main energy, but now I've started using it in my actual readings, and they're kind of like growing on me. But I guess it's a question of having the right deck for you as well. So a couple of decks that I'm going to show you here, I've done a walkthrough, so I'll put the link as well down below. And as usual, you don't have to like or subscribe or comment or anything like that, but if you did, that would be really nice. So let's start with one that was my first one that I didn't actually engage with much at all. When I saw this deck, I kind of like, I got really interested in it. This is the Divine Feminine Oracle by Megan Watterson. And I thought the idea was amazing to have all of these deities, feminine deities, and kind of like talk a little bit about them. So this is a very chunky kind of guidebook with a lot of information, and the thing that I love about this is that for each one of the cards, each one of the deities, so this will have let's see, there's meditations and why she did the oracle, and the divine is understood to be exclusively male, so she decided to do this one with feminine divine. And also one of the things that I love is that for each one of them you have so this is from different backgrounds, but there are a few issues about it. So it talks about who the actual people in the cards are, and it does say it has this kind of like straightforward message, and what are they the deity of or the saint of, and then a description of who that person is or who that deity is, and then what it means, what is the message of that card. And then there is a little soul voice meditation, so something for you to ask yourself, and then your intention, which is the same as here. So I love the fact, I love kind of like the foundation for this, and there's so much information here, and there's so much that you can learn about it, and I find it quite interesting. These are the backs. I'm going to spend a little bit more on each of the decks because I don't intend to do a deep dive into these. These are the backs. They have like the usual card stock for Oracle decks. They're a bit softy, petally kind of, and I find interesting kind of like the image on the back. Now, what I didn't like about this is that, first of all, it's very orange. There's a lot of orange in here, a little bit too much, and I love orange, but it is a little bit too much orange for me. There's also there's a lot of saints, and a kind of like having been born and raised in a Catholic country, kind of like I have a bit of an ick towards it. but it has people from all kinds of cultures and backgrounds. The problem is that they seem a little bit, I don't know, the color, the tone, the skin color is not really, it seems a bit too white. It's like, I don't know, I think it's the tones that is used. I mean, yeah, even the people of color in here, they seem a little bit pale, and I had a little bit of an issue with this. Now, I'm looking at this deck, and I do like the messages, and I do like the fact what it is behind. So if you want to learn more about all of these people and all of these deities and saints and all of that, yeah, it's an amazing resource for you. And also one of the things that I like is that you can just, if you don't want to go to the guidebook and see what the extended message is, you have a lot here already with the intention already, so you can get the message quite clearly. So at the beginning I didn't really engage with this, and I think that was one of the issues, because if I was starting to or trying to engage with Oracle decks, and I got one that was a little bit hit and miss with me, and so it kind of brought me back a little bit, but I like this deck, and again I would recommend it, but I don't read with it at the moment. I want to bring it out and start reading it a little bit more and use it a little bit more, but it just, as I think this one is one of those that is just for a message for a particular time or situation, or maybe a general message, not one that I use in readings. So I might do a few videos with these, because again it's got like a very straightforward intention in them, but it's not one that I use in my kind of practice unless somebody asks me specifically for that. So so again, this is the box, and it's the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. Right, let's put this aside. So one that I did engage with a little bit more, and I bought at the same time as this one, and it's one that I've been using since, and I still use it to this day, which is similar, which is the Feminine Wisdom by Leah Android. I hope I'm not saying that too wrong, but it's the Feminine Wisdom Oracle deck. This is a rock pool deck, and I kind of like, I like this a bit more because it's not as orangey and it's a bit softer, and it's smaller. So this one I can tell you is 53 card deck, and this one, how many does it have? It doesn't say here. I can see it in the guidebook, but I do like the box. I do love it. I do love, like, these are the bags, which I like a lot as well. Let's put this to the side. And it's a very straightforward guidebook. So you've got, so it's got 36 cards. It does have a few suggested spreads, and then it has the cards, and the cards are very straightforward. So it has a picture of the card, and then it says what it says on the card, and then the cards as well, they have a very clear kind of like message on the card, which I like. So you don't need to go to the guidebook if you want to just have a quick message, but then it expands a little bit, and what are you kind of called to do. And then it has this kind of like affirmation or question or something for you to wonder or to ponder on, and yeah, I really engage with this a lot more, and this is something that I use, I started using on readings, but I also use it as to set the intention of the month, kind of like I have in most of my oracle decks, I use them and I get like a card a month and I keep them on my desk, and this is one of them. And then for the week as well if I need something. But this is a very nice, sweet, again, the same cardstock, the same size as normal oracle decks. And it's got some really pretty pictures, and it's like, it's smooth and calm, I think, and it's very healing. So and I mean, again, straight message, just joy, pure happiness, intuition, gut feeling, and inner voice. So you can just get something from the card without having to go to the guidebook. But it's very healing, it's very peaceful, it's very kind of soft. So yeah, if people usually say that oracle decks are softer than tarot decks, or they're like kinder or nicer, this is one of them for sure. And some of them, they kind of remind us of some of the tarot deck cards, but in a very kind of like sweet, soft approach. So yeah, I really like this one. This one is the one that keeps coming up: transformation, internal shifts, etc. So this is a very healing deck, a very calm and peaceful deck. So highly recommend it. I still use it to this day, especially with kind of when going through, or when someone is going through a rough patch and needs some self-care and some healing. This is a great deck for that. So this is the box. Let me put it back in the box. These are actually quite difficult to open. One of the things that I like about some of the boxes is that this you can put this on this side, and then you can kind of like take the book out as well. I like it when they put this ribbon a bit longer. So yeah, feminine wisdom. Now I'm going to just very quickly show these two that kind of were fairly recent, but I've started using quite a lot in my readings. And again, I have them on my desk, the card for the month and sometimes for the week, and integrated in readings as well. I got these at the same time, and I have a deck review video when I first got it, and I'll put the link down below, so go and check that. I won't spend too much time. Again, same kind of cardstock. This is edged in green. This is a very green one, and again, you've got the message and 3 keywords, which is more than enough for you to get through. So this is a very, I love this one, and it really, like, these two decks really changed, helped a lot in me engaging more with tarot decks, with oracle decks, sorry. And so because I really like these ones. So again, you can use them in your spreads, you can use it as a single message. It's something that I really like. So this is by Nicola McIntosh, and it's the Celtic Spirit Oracle. And there's a bit of lore as well, and if you are interested in Celtic, the Celtic culture. So yeah, go and check. I'll go through it with a bit more detail. And then there's the Witch's Way Home Oracle by Emma Griffin, and this is a really cool one because again, it's got some spreads. Let me get these out. So this is really great if you are on a spiritual journey, or if you want to deepen your spirituality. There's a lot of messages here, and she kind of like divided this into different sections. Some of them are, as you see, fire or seasons. Others are actual messages, to kind of, for your power and to align and kind of explore your spirituality, whether you're a witch or not. So I really like this. I love the artwork. It's one that I use regularly, again, especially in my kind of spiritual journey. Let me just show you a little bit of how to use it. And yes, so she has different suits. So one is starting your path, the other is uncovering magic from the natural world, another one is seeking guidance from higher dimensions, and another one stepping into your power. And so it's kind of like a journey that you make. There's quite a few spreads as well, and then there's the interpretation of the cards. And so it's got the title of the card, which you have on the card, and then a little message, and then it is a little bit like, even though this is not very long, it's a little bit repetitive, what is written here. So it doesn't go much further than the first kind of like few sentences in terms of like interpreting the card, but then it has also a journal prompt. And this is amazing, and especially not only if you're a witch or if you're thinking of becoming a witch, but it's quite reassuring, reaffirming, and connects you to your spirituality, and kind of like helps and guides, and it's got beautiful images as well. So this is from Hay House. I'm going to pause and drink a little bit of water. And I'm back. So the next one needs no introductions. I think a lot of people have this deck, or have talked about this deck, the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Bolan. And I must say that although it kind of like, it wasn't instant, the way I connected with this deck is Hay House as well. It wasn't instant, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But this is something that I use in moon phase. So on a full moon and on a new moon, or when there is an eclipse or something, I usually do a tarot spread, and I do a spread just with this deck as well. But now that it's grown on me a little bit, I use it as well for a general message, and at the beginning or the end of a spread, or to have on my desk or my altar for the message for that month, for that week. And it's lovely because I'm sure there's a lot of reviews that are more in depth than this, but it tells you what the new moon and which sign it is, and then what it means. So it is, again, you don't need to go to the guidebook. You have enough from these cards. They're the same size. They're very soft to the touch, but they're the same normal Oracle deck kind of size, and they're not edged, but it's fine. So I really like this because it kind of like connects then obviously where the moon to the sign that it is, and then there are some special cards as well, like the gibbous moon, the waxing crescent moon, fixed moon. So there's eclipse as well. So there's different cards, not just the moon in that sign. Now it has a few, so this is what I mean. So there's the moon phase card, and then there's the new moon and the full moon on each one of the signs, and the special moon cards. And it has a few spreads as well, which I use. So it tells you usually the keywords of each of the moon phases, and how the deck is structured. And then you see I have like here the spreads, and I usually do these the new moon 3-card spread and the full moon 3-card spread with this deck, and then I do my own kind of spreads, and I put the short version of those spreads in some of my videos. So I usually personally do a much bigger spread, and then I put like a 2-card spread inspired on my own tarot spread. So the tarot is different, it's not the same, the spreads, I make them myself, but I use these spreads with these cards as well on each of the new moon and the full moon. So there's a few of them. Now the thing that I kind of felt a bit with this one, and then I got over it because I just started reading the cards as they are, is that you have, so you have the message that you have on the card, and then you have a little bit of an expanded message about what that actually means. Then there is additional meanings, which are the issues. It's a bit of teaching as well. So what the new moon is, for instance, or what the full moon in Aries kind of means as well. The problem is like, you've got this description which is fine, but then the additional meanings, they can be very contradictory, and I was kind of like, because I like things to be very neat and very kind of like logical, I really struggled with the additional meanings for this card, and I'm like, so which one is it? So you need to be more detached, but then you think outside the box, or do, I mean, there's a lot of things, and then bring love into the situation, but then it's like you need to be more detached. It didn't make much sense, but now I just ignore this and I just read. If I need to read this bit, I will read this bit, but usually I just use what I know about the sun and the moon in that sign to make my own interpretation. So it kind of grew on me. So yeah, so this is the Moonology. Again, not going to spend too long on this because there's a lot of reviews out there. It's a very popular deck, and yes, even though we had a rough start, it kind of grew on me, and I like it quite a lot. Now the next one is, I'm going to take it from my shelf. Sorry, this is my favorite deck, and it's because it's crystals, of course, for the old geologist, or used to be geologist. And this is by Nicola McIntosh as well as this one. And this is the most recent one that I have, and I absolutely love it, and I use it a lot. First, because it has crystals. It helps you do your own crystal grid, but you don't need to do it. But if you want to do a quick crystal grid, you can do it. There's a lot. So this is the expanded kind of version, deluxe edition. 72 cards. So there are 72 cards, and it's got the grid if you want to do it, but you don't need to. And then it like each one of them is a crystal or a mineral or a rock sometimes, and then like a straightforward keyword for it. The good thing about this as well is that if you don't have this specific crystal, but you want to use it, whether for healing, for spell work, for whatever it is, you can use the card instead of the crystal, which is, I think it's quite, I have almost all of the ones that I usually use, but if there's any that I'm missing or that is very rare, you can use the card as well, and gives you a very kind of to the point keyword. It's ironic because usually I prefer cards that has more than just more than just like the keyword. It has a little bit more keywords on them, so I can get more from the card without having to go to the guidebook. It annoys me a little bit having to go to the guidebook for this, unless I'm doing my proper journaling and things like that, which, by the way, all of these decks, that's another use that I have for all of these decks, is journaling as well. But for some reason I really like it. I don't know, it might be the crystals, it might be I don't know what it is, but I do love this deck. I use it a lot. I've got like I use it for readings. I do have the card of the month or the card of the week, but sometimes I just pull one because I need a message there and then, and I don't have time to do a tarot reading or anything like that, and I just get like a quick message from it. Sometimes it just, I don't know, it just, I'm called to use it and I get one, or I see a specific number. If I see like, if I keep seeing a repeating number, I get the card, the corresponding card. I've done that before as well. So yeah, so I guess this is my favorite. This is the one that I use the most. This is the one using for readings or just on its own. I'll show you the guidebook here. So there is a lot of information here. There's a lot of spreads as well. There's quite a few spreads And then meditations, how you can use the crystals, or you can use the cards instead of the crystals, of grounding, meditating, you know, doing shamanic journeys, etc. Which I don't use all of that, but there's a lot of information there. And then it has the cards, and then it has three more or two more keywords. And then the minerals that or crystals that you can use in the grid if you decide to do a grid. So it has, you can just read this and it's fine with it, but there is then a way, not just what the card is telling you, but also how to use the crystal if you want it, and how the two of them can kind of help you. So, and then there's an exercise. So there's a little bit like of if you pull this card, I don't know, if you're feeling over emotional, take a moment, sit down and breathe, and then kind of like some guidance in there. You have black tourmaline, protection, strength, positivity. We all know black tourmaline. And I can say, are you feeling super emotional? Just want everyone to leave you alone? It could be time to put up some protection. This is a good indication that you're allowing outside energy to interfere with your own. You're taking on everyone's problems or feeling everyone else's energetic disharmony, and it's not doing you any favors. Picture putting a bubble around yourself and let the negativity deflect and bounce off it. Notice how the grid is created in this image. It's like a shield, and it's exactly what you need to do. It doesn't mean blocking people out or disassociating. It means that you're saving my energy. You're saying my energy is my own, and you may not take it or enter into my energy if it's not for my highest good. So you have a few kind of mantras here and visualization techniques and kind of protection techniques. Black tourmaline grounds and absorbs negative energy and is one of my favorite stones, especially if I'm feeling very sensitive. I use black tourmaline and feel your strength. Use black tourmaline and feel your strength return as all the people and events that have been draining you dissolve away. And then there is an exercise. For this exercise, I suggest you purchase a piece of black tourmaline. I think everybody should have a little piece of black tourmaline, and it's not very expensive, and it's quite common. So yeah, and if you don't have the stone, you can call on the crystal spirits with this card, etc. And yeah, and it gives you like some advice and guidance and exercises to do. So I do absolutely love. This is my favorite oral deck. It's like Golden Guild, and it doesn't actually hurt, and it's quite big. There's quite a lot of cards. So yeah, so these are my oracle decks. As I said, there's not many of them. If you want any kind of like deep dive, let me know. I'm going to now move on to the Lenormand decks. So I only have two Lenormand decks, and one of them is not really a deck. So I got this little book that tells you how to read Lenormand. So it's really cute. I can't remember who I heard talking about this, but it kind of like explains how to use Lenormand, even though I haven't used it much because I used other sources to learn Lenormand, and I've given this to my teenager, so it's not been in my possession for very long. But it's great because it explains everything about the cards and how to read it, and it's got a lot like combinations as well, because you should Lenormand is read as combinations of cards. So it has all of these explanation about, so this is kind of like the guidebook. And the reason why I say it's a deck is because it comes with a little deck at the end. Let me just show you, which is like cute, as they say, is the cute little Lenormand. So it's a very simple deck with playing cards so corresponded. So it's very simple. So you have the whole Lenormand deck. This is great if you're learning because at the end as well, so you've got all of the information about the cards and what the sister cards, the combinations, the positive and the negative, and then at the end there is spreads and kind of exercises as well. So, and it teaches you about the tableau, and then it's got the grand tableau as well, but it gets you like, you can practice with this, and it gives you things to kind of interpret on your own and see how you get to it. This is lovely. I absolutely love it. And then it's got the grand tableau, which is quite complicated thing to learn. So if you want to learn Lenormand, this is something that I definitely suggest, because it comes with its deck. So if you don't want to kind of like spend money on the Lenormand without knowing if you're going to get along with it or not, if it's going to resonate with you, this is great to start with. So, and then you've got your place for your own notes. You can write your own notes as well. And this is by Sarah M. Lyons, or Sada M. Lyons. So it's cute little Lenormand, and it comes with a little deck. So this is amazing if you're learning. Highly recommend it. And this is the kind of the selling price. Right, so the next one is an interesting one, because it is more than a Lenormand. Is a Lenormand, an oracle, it's a lot of it, and I use it quite a lot. And it's the Intuit Oracle 180, and as the name suggests, it's got 180 cards. Now this is I bought this on Etsy, and this is expensive, an expensive one. So not, I mean, I really decided to invest on this, and you'll see why, because it has a lot of cards. So what it does, so this is about this is the author and Intuit. So they have more than one deck. I think they have the astrology ones, that is 180 astrology if I'm not mistaken. So basically what this is a Lenormand, which I have on the side here. And the good thing about it is that if you're learning as well, but I wouldn't advise this if you're learning, if you don't know, because it's quite expensive, as I said. So it has all of the keywords for that card here. So this is kind of, they are small as well, which I quite like. So they're not like, Lenormands are usually small, but if you use the Oracle cards are usually quite big. And this one you can use as an oracle as well, and I'll show you the rest of it. So you've got the normal Lenormand deck here with, you know, the usual, the fox, the house, the anchor, all of those. And you've got the man and the woman and you know, the sun. You have the coffin, you know, the book, the normal Lenormand, but with a lot of keywords. So it helps you a lot when you're reading, when you're doing your reading, because you have all of the keywords in there. Now, then what it does is it's got two more Lenormands, and though they're not really Lenormand, they're basically, what they've done is two decks with combinations of Lenormand cards. So they picked some of the combinations, and it does explain here. This is all it comes with. So this is all it comes with, but you do have the keywords, and this is the kind of Oracle and Lenormand. So they've made two more Lenormands with a combination of two Lenormand cards. So they're not really Lenormands, and they're Oracle decks, and I use them as Oracle decks. And then they have another deck, which is animals, spirit animals. So these ones, and then you can see that the Lenormand has this kind of, the original Lenormand has the cards, the playing card associated with it, and the spirit animals have A in here. So if you want to know something specific about personality, I've put them in order, but I usually have them all together in here, but I've put them in order just to show you. So these are kind of, if you want to know personalities, or they can be used as well as like new beginnings, like desire. They can be used as oracle as well. So you have the spirit animals, and then you have two Lenormands, and they have different symbols in here. That's one, and that's the other one. So you've got another 36 cards, but they are combinations of two Lenormand cards. And then again, you have the keywords in here. So what I use this for is as a clarifier, and I love these cards as clarifiers. So you can kind of like you can, in some of them you can see quite clearly what the combination of what the two Lenormands that are combined to kind of show you this. But you've got like helm and seed and white feather, glass heart, and bird on a wire. So this can be birds, and it can be I don't know, news, so the letter perhaps, so you've got the keywords in here, and this is great. As I said, I use this as clarifier. So again, the images are quite cool, they're quite nice. You can use them in a normal reading. You can use this just for your reading as a normal reading, or as any kind of like oracle reading. But I use them mostly, I just put them all together, I shuffle them all together. I have this, so I have this one separate. If I want to do a Lenormand reading, I use this one, so this one is separate. And then if I'm doing a tarot reading and I want a clarification, and I want a little bit more to the point clarification than pulling another tarot card, I use this one, and it is absolutely amazing. I really like this, and it's very easy to shuffle. It's got this linen kind of cardstock. It is quite thin, but it's a big deck, so for me it's quite easy to shuffle the way that I like shuffling it, and it's very, very useful. And then, and I'll show you in a bit, so I'll just mix them all here. And then it has a mini deck in here, so it's got a lot of cards, 180. So these ones are majors. So it's got all of the majors, and then what the keywords for that major card, tarot card is, and then what is the planet or the star sign or the astro sign associated with that one. So you've got Mars in the Tower, Virgo is the Hermit, etc. And then you have keywords. And then these are still the Moon, the Chariot, and then you have, for each of the zodiacs, you have a personality, and you've got time reading. So if you want to know, for instance, when you're doing a reading and you want to know, okay, when will this happen? You can pull these cards, and it will tell you either in winter or during Capricorn season, because this is a Capricorn card, or within a year. So it gives you timing as well. So you can be very, very precise with these cards. And then it associates each one of the cards, the Queen of Pentacles, for instance, is Taurus, the Prince of Air with Gemini, etc. So each of the kind of zodiacs and the court cards, but it tells you the timing as well. And then there's still the, if you want a yes or no, should I not, or kind of like some kind of more advice, you have these ones as well. And it has a message very straight there. So these are the different size. So the cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable. So the first, middle, and the end. And kind of like the characteristics of each one of those. And then it has like time to get going, carry on, wrap it up, weight, and then there's like seasons as well, and the moon phases as well. You have keywords again, but then very direct messages of like wait, spring into action, yes it's time, no let it be. There's elements as well, so 50-50, things are fluid, unlikely. It's almost like one of those black balls, I can't remember what they are, but it's like a very straight to the point message, expect the end, expect. And then there's these two as well, which are the twin flames and the solar flash. So if you really want to go deep and precise with your readings, you can either use this deck as a Lenormand, you can use it as an oracle, you can use it as together with your tarot readings, you can use it as clarifier, but you can get very, very specific. So you can just use this deck on its own, or you can add other oracle decks or tarot decks, or just pull this if you want a bit more information on timings, if you don't want to get that from the tarot itself. So so this is a very special deck, and I use this it's on my desk, so I use this all the time as a clarifier, using these ones as clarifiers when I need a very specific clarification. I don't use these that much. So usually these are a bit too specific for me, and I kind of forget. I usually don't have that much urgency in the readings that I do, but if somebody asks me to be very, very specific, or to have a very quick yes or no message, I will use these ones. And then of course we've got the Lenormand. So yes, so these are my Oracle and Lenormand decks. I hope this was useful to you, and let me know if you want me to go and do a deep dive with any of them. I'll try my best. But yes, so I'll be back with some more of my decks up to the 50 point, and from now on is going to be decks that I've either not used, not opened, or just did a little kind of introductory interview or something like that. So I don't know how I'm going to divide them yet, but there will be more for my 50 decks for my 50th birthday. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.